Watchers, I'm your host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson. Let's talk about the weather for our Tuesday evening going into our future. Now, looking at the radar right there and right here, nothing is really going on inside the state of South Carolina, and we are pretty much good in terms of rain. But not all can be said for the entire United States. You guys know that. So as we move our way out, you can see that we do have some tornado watches, but mainly it's a QLCS threat, which a QLCS is damaging winds, is being the main threat, but the tornadoes would be embedded inside of a line of storms that's moving kind of like southeastward, eastward, kind of, some even southern. But just wherever the line is, and this is a prime example, and this will continue to move towards the southeast. But here is our reflectivity. We're going to go and look at the winter reflectivity. So here's all of our severe weather, flash flooding going on inside of southwestern. Oh, hold on. There. Okay, there we go. All right. I think I'm good again. But southwestern, Wisconsin, maybe even western portions of Illinois, even eastern portion of Iowa as well, northern portions of Missouri, and even into portions of Kansas and Oklahoma as well. So that's that. In terms of pretty much just rainfall, just in general, rainfall is going into places like I'd say like Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, as well as Michigan, Canada, even like the New Mexico regions as well. The Four Corners region, and even down here inside of Florida, we're even seeing some downpours going through there as we move into the next couple of hours. But Florida, it always rains in Florida. It's always that tropical kind of like air mass that's always been going on over there. But as we move on, let's talk about cloud cover. So cloud cover right now, as we move this along to the cloud cover map, no cloud cover is really happening inside the state of South Carolina right now. That is a good thing. So let's continue on. Here is our cloud cover total percentage. As we move this forward, you can see that we do have some clouds that may try to form in the low country, South Carolina through western South Carolina. But as we move into like tomorrow morning, cloud cover does decide it wants to move, kind of stay stationary inside of the low country, but kind of move out of the western portion of South Carolina and going into like portions of Georgia as well. Let's move on to our current temperatures around 77 in Columbia, 80 in Charleston, 79 in Savannah, and even 79 inside of Myrtle Beach, as well as places even like 73 inside of Greenville, 75 inside of Anderson. Here's our low temperatures for tonight. Low temperatures around 76 in Charleston, 70 in Columbia, 78 inside of Hilton Head Island, 74 in Myrtle Beach, 66 inside of Spartanburg, 66 inside of Rock Hill, 68 Greenville, 68 Anderson, 69 inside of Camden, 69 for Sumter, and 68 for Florence. Here's our forecasted precipitation for the next 24 or so hours, around a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch possible in Charleston, and maybe even around a half an inch to an inch inside of Hilton Head Island as well, and other places that might get some rain like Allendale, South Carolina, portions of Colleton County, South Carolina, southeastern portions of, or southern portions of Berkeley County, eastern portions of Charleston County as well can see a couple of drops of rain as we go into the next 24 hours. Here is our day one categorical outlook. You can see as we get into the rest of the night tonight, seems like we still do have that TSTM. See if they've updated it, or yes, they have. Okay, so right now it's really just the southern tip of South Carolina that's starting to see some type of precipitation. And as we continue on to continue on to go over to day two. You can see that we do have a TSTM again that goes all the way from Georgetown down through western South Carolina, going into the western upstate or the very far upstate of South Carolina, has a chance of seeing some thunderstorms through there. And then as we go into Thursday, we also do have a chance to see some thunderstorms as well inside the upstate of South Carolina as well. The Midlands and the Low Country PD regions are fine. Nothing really too much for that. Here is our excessive rainfall forecast. Let me get that. All right. But as here's the excessive rainfall where we have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall that pretty much goes for the upstate of South Carolina, northern South Carolina as well. Also receiving the chance for some excessive rainfall. It's again possible that you can see minor flooding, and it's not really anything like too bad. It's really just the threat for some type of, really just a threat for some type of minor flooding. Again, this is for Saturday. Yeah, this is for Saturday. And I'm looking at this now. So Saturday, we do have a chance for that. And then let's talk about the tropics. So here is Hurricane Beryl, major Hurricane Beryl, Category 4 Hurricane Beryl. You see a devastating hurricane force winds, life-threatening storm surge, and damaging waves are expected in portions of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands Wednesday and Wednesday night. Residents in those areas should listen to local government and emergency management officials and preparedness and slash or evacuation orders. Heavy rainfall and life-threatening flash flooding are likely over much of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola through late Wednesday. Beryl is expected to remain a hurricane when it approaches the Yucatan Peninsula and Belize late Thursday, where additional watches will likely be required later today or tonight. And then there still remains some uncertainty in the track and intensity forecast of Beryl over the western Gulf of Mexico this weekend. Interest in the southwestern and western Gulf of Mexico should monitor the progress of Beryl. So let's go and let's look at, let's see, tropical tidbits real quick. Let me pull that up. Oh, I closed out everything. Hold on. Let me load it back up. All right, here it is. Right here. Right here. All right. So, I'm going to the current storm. You can see that Hurricane Beryl right here. Still a pretty strong hurricane as it moves its way through. This is definitely Category 4, Category 5 material, but it is a Category 4. Here's the GEFS model. This is just the American model, GEFS model, long range. Most of it has Beryl kind of going into eastern Texas, kind of going towards Houston. That's where it kind of centers it out at. There's some that still says it's going to go into Mexico. Even it can even be strong, and even going up into the northeastern United States as well. It could still be a low pressure as it heads its way up there. But mainly, most of them has it going into western Louisiana and eastern Texas. So everyone side of pretty much, I'd say the entire coast of Texas and Louisiana probably needs to be watching this, because this thing can go anywhere. So it could go all the way from New Orleans all the way down towards Corpus Christi, or even down to Mexico, I should say, as well. So whichever way it goes, the entire Gulf Coast from Mexico all the way to Louisiana needs to be watching. And here's the Hurricane Beryl model forecast track, just with the hurricane model. So this is not with the these are like models specifically for hurricanes, and most of them has it going again into like eastern Mexico, southern Texas as well. Some stragglers going up into Louisiana, not Louisiana, eastern Texas near Houston, and then some. This is the European one. European one has it kind of going. Again, mainly, if I was to draw like a track, probably near Houston, somewhere around there. So Houston seems to be getting the most attention right now in terms of hurricane-wise, in terms of Hurricane Beryl. And here's the model intensity guidance as well. As it kind of moves down, you can see it kind of wants to drop in intensity a lot. Some wants it to stay at Category 3 status for the next 168 hours. Some wants it to stay inside of a Category 2, Category 1, but most has it dropping to a to a tropical storm, and then most has it getting into a high-end tropical storm or a low-end Category 1, and then it's going to drop off, and I can show you the models for why that is in a second. But before we continue talking about that, let's talk about Invest 96. That's not Invest 96 is, I'm not gonna say it's died, but it it kind of died. It just says showers and thunderstorm activity remain limited in association with tropical wave located several hundred miles east southeast of the Windward Islands. Environmental conditions are only marginally conducive for any development of the system, while it moves generally westward at 15 to 20 miles an hour across the western tropical Atlantic and eastern Caribbean Sea. Regardless of development, gusty winds and locally heavy rainfall will be possible across portions of the Lesser Antilles on Wednesday. So even though, again, like I said, with every disturbance, even if you get hit by a little disturbance with thunderstorms, obviously still gusty winds and heavy rainfall are still going to be possible, even if you don't get a tropical storm or a tropical depression. So they still have to watch out for that anyway, because they're already damaged from Burrow already. Category 4 Burrow was Category 5. They had the before, then they had then they had like the during, and then they still had to deal with the aftermath winds as well. And then now they have another disturbance that is coming on with more of a gusty wind and just heavy rainfall threat. So they're still not done. They gotta wait for this to pass off. And let's go and look at that now. So here is 96L Invest. And then here it is right here. You can see the satellite on this thing. It's not really doing much again. It's like I said, like pretty much just dying at this point. You see, I had a bunch of convection as you get into like this morning, or I wouldn't even say this morning. I said like a couple of hours ago, but it kind of just died off a little bit more. It's trying to refire some more though, but I don't know if it will succeed or not. And some of the models even like got rid of it. Like here's the hurricane models right here that's specifically made for hurricanes. Most of them just say it's gonna go a little bit and then just die. There's one that's saying that it might try to make a run for Central America, but there's most models aren't even on this list. Here's the GFS as well, saying that there's mostly saying it's going to be short-lived past the Lesser Antilles, and it's going to stop, and then, but there are some stragglers that still has it going towards Central America. And then intensity guidance, we have actually 3 models that still say that in the next, I'd say around the next couple of days, this thing could turn into a tropical storm. Now, I don't know how likely this is, but this is just what some of the models are saying. So I guess we still have to keep a watch on it either way, and we will. And then here's the European model as well. European does have this thing actually progressing really really far. You can see like it maybe even tries to get to 1,000 to the 990. So there are still some models that say that this thing, that 96L, the little disturbance there in the yellow, can still try to do something, and we'll continue to watch out for that. So let's go and let's talk about the future, because that's it for the tropics. If you want to, oh well, I almost just said my thing for the audience, but we're not there yet. So here is the future as you move into tomorrow and through July the 3rd. Rain still possible near like Hilton Head Island, Beaufort, downtown Charleston, places like that tomorrow. But then as you move to July the 4th, like I said, July the 4th is going to be a nice day. July the 5th and the 6th are looking like to be a kind of more thunderstormy type day. Maybe even the 7th and the 8th, potentially bringing us some more thunderstorms, some more like widespread, like severe weather event potentially possible. And it's just okay. There we go. All right. So continuing through July the 9th, July the 10th, more widespread rain. July the 11th, more widespread rain. The 12th and the 13th. The 13th and the 14th looks to be more promising for some more thunderstorms. Same thing with the 15th. The 16th as well could bring some thunderstorms. And I mean, again, we're just going to be pretty much after July the 4th. I'd say pretty much from, if I was to say, probably around July the 14th onward, it's just going to be a major just deluge of rain going through. But again, we're a bit too far out to talk about this, so everything pretty much from July 15th all the way on, we really should not be talking about it that much. So now let's go and talk to the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We have 12 people in here and 9 likes. Let's get that like button up, and let's get all 12 people to hit that like button. And I think I did have some connection problems earlier, but it should be fine. I think I had a bit too many tabs open, so I think I got all of that figured out. So here is on the messages we have good evening JP, good evening to you Mr. Anthony, and then my Nana says hello Jay, hello. Ms. Oliver says hello. Are we going to experience the dust storm? Um, I I've not heard anything about a dust storm for South Carolina at least. Um, where specifically are you talking about dust storm? Good evening, cousin. I hope you had an awesome day. I have had a pretty amazing day. I'm having internet connection, bad connection. Yeah, again, I was having some earlier because I had too many tabs open, but I reduced them and we're good now. Good evening, nephew. You're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for that. And now, let's go and do our San Antonio and Raleigh forecast. And then, if we have any more questions, I think about the dust storm thing. If we can get a response to that, I'll cover that as well, wherever that is. And I'll say if it affects South Carolina or not. But down here into San Antonio, let me go and pull out the models real quick. And let me move on to the 18Z. And let's move our way through. And if you're new here and you don't know what's going on, because we probably do, because right now I think it's like we're up to like 14 people right now. So if you are new, just know that we just do San Antonio Raleigh forecast just every single day after the stream, because I know people there. So if you were wondering why we do that, that's the reason why. As we go through tonight, though, and tomorrow morning in San Antonio, nothing going on there, and pretty much nothing going on as you go through the next 48 or so hours, so you're good in terms of rain. But even though you probably need the rain, I might have to check that drought monitor out. I'll check it out on Thursday and see what's going on and see if you're under a drought or not. But in terms of temperature-wise, also, we wait for the little blue thing at the top to load. I always say the reason why it takes a little while to load is because it gives the best quality. Because if you're on TV, they just load theirs up real quick. It may be a little fancy looking, but it ain't like this though. So this is the best of the best. So let me pull out this and just waiting and see. Now it's going a little bit faster. But when I did load it up, it was around 94. I think at around 3 o'clock. And temperatures are probably going to stay pretty relatively high, especially down there inside of Texas. But as you go into tonight, low temperatures around 76. Tomorrow, high temperatures around 98. Tomorrow, low temperatures around 76. And then around 94, 2 o'clock on July the 4th. Now let's go up here and talk about Raleigh's forecast. Raleigh, North Carolina. And then here it is right here. We push this forward. Low temperatures tonight in Raleigh around 65. High temperatures tomorrow around 91, and then low temperatures tomorrow around 71, and then high temperatures can be probably in the high 90s on July the 4th. And then in terms of rain as well, move this backwards a little bit. Let me turn this off. Zoom my way in. And you can see as we go through tonight, nothing for tonight, nothing for tomorrow, and nothing seems to be for the day after that either for July the 4th. So you're good in terms of all that. No severe weather really expected for both of y'all, especially because no rain is really expected. Hot temperatures, but y'all been dealing with hot temperatures all summer. So the Saharan dust storm. Saharan dust storm. Let me look that up real quick. Saharan dust storm. Right now, it says the state of Texas is bracing for a Saharan dust outbreak as large plumes travel northward from the African desert and move over the Atlantic. But I only see Texas. I think it will probably go inside the Gulf, because especially if it's coming from Africa and then it moves westward, even though it says northward. I'm gonna guess westward. I'd say probably not really hit South Carolina, because I haven't seen anybody at least down here talking about a dust storm. So I think that we're fine in terms of that. But Texas, yes, they will have to, which they probably will, since it's all over the news right now. Oh, I found a map of it. I found a map. So, this was at, I think this was Thursday. I believe this was Thursday, but here's like one of the maps says right here. You have like all of the dust coming from Africa all the way west, and then kind of has like kind of like encircles like southern like Alabama, southern Mississippi, most of Louisiana, and then southeastern Texas as well. But this is just one map, and obviously this could obviously change because weather always changes. So but right now, yeah, no threat really for South Carolina at all, if I was to say. But that's all that I have in terms of that. Make sure you guys hit the share button, the subscribe button, and the like button as well. We are at 139 subscribers. We're trying to push to 140 before August, or 200 before August the 31st, or on August the 31st. That's our last day. And let's see if we can get to 140 either today or tomorrow. That's my goal, to hit 140, and then we'll be 6/10 of the way there. And we'll be, again, on our way to continue going and pushing on to 200 subscribers. Also, if you guys want to do the rating for tonight, again, anybody new, just if you just how good did I do tonight in terms of giving out the information effectively, concisely, without just being, I'd say, without stuttering too many times, you just stuff like that, thinking for too long, just long pauses, all that kind of stuff. All of that stuff would be appreciated if you guys could do that inside the chat. I'll be waiting for those. I'll be here for about another 5 minutes as well. And that's all that I have. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday night. I'll be back tomorrow morning, Wednesday, with your forecast update.
Hey!